So if you're here, that means you got this problem wrong, so let's work it out. Now I went ahead and I kind of labeled some things like my variables here and my inequality symbols here. The reason I labeled it is because we need to make sure we don't flip this inequality problem. And you don't right now because the x, which is the variable, is on the left of the inequality symbol, so we're good. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down the the inequality symbol, and I'm going to go ahead and start solving. Now step number 1 is pretty much the same. Get rid of your constant. So I'm going to add the 2 to both sides. Now when you add that 2, you need to make sure you're doing the opposite of -2, which is +2, and you need to make sure to line up your decimals. Now, when you have a number like 2, you need to know the decimal falls behind it, so that way I line up with that decimal and I put a 0 there. Now we're going to go ahead and add these up. So 2 plus 0 is 2, put my decimal, 3 plus 2 is 5, and then bring down 2 plus nothing is 2, so I have 25.2. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring down our 4.2x and my inequality symbol. We're going to go ahead and divide 4.2 to both sides. Cross that out. Now 25.2 over 4.2. I have a few students that go, well, I don't know how to solve this. Well, you do, okay? Just look at it. Which one's my top number? It's 25.2. So that means top in and bottom out. I know several of y'all did go to Vogel, so you know that way from your teacher before. If you've been learning this with me, then you know the cowboy is on top, the horse is on the bottom, the cowboy goes in the house, and the horse stays outside. Now these are decimals. So that means I need to move my decimals over to make it a whole number. So I'm going to do that here. And how many loops I do on the outside, I also need to do on the inside. And there you have it. Now, we're going to just start solving this. 42 can't go into 2, and 42 can't go into 25, but 42 can go into 252, and I need to figure out about how many times. So I like doing a random number. I'm going to do 42 times 5 because that's the halfway point, so 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 210. This can probably go in one more time, so let's do 42 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So this went into it 6 times. That was 252, and I'm going to subtract them, and that gets me 0. So my answer is 6. Now, you also need to make sure if you flip your inequality symbol again, or another time. We don't flip it here. We leave it the same, and the reason we don't flip it is because that 4.2 was a positive number. We only flip when we multiply and divide by negative numbers to both sides. So this is how you do 4.2x minus 2 is less than 23.2. Now, you also need to make sure that you're aware how to graph these, because you're going to have a lot of questions on the test where these are graphed. Now I'm going to put my circle over the 6. It's an open circle because there's no line underneath it. And then my arrowhead's pointing to the left, so I'm going to draw this to the left. And then that's my answer for this.